don't really have an intro, so we just kind of start.
All right.
But yeah, dude, thank you for doing it again.
Yeah, man.
Just
You're welcome.
Just to get it on the recording. But what was your first initial start in music? Like, where'd you get the start for it from?
Like playing, or just like when did I start liking music?
Yeah, just liking music in general.
I was like a kid who was like obsessed with MTV. So I remember, so I'm like born in 1981, and I remember I had like this like Fraggle Rock guitar, kind of like this toy guitar. My mom gave it was some kids cartoon at the time. And then I had her like baton, like twirling baton, which I would put in the couch, and that'd be like my mic stand.
Yeah.
And this is like when like Born in the USA was like huge video, like Prince, Cyndi Lauper.
What song for Prince?
I
mean, just like a couple. He
kind of had a bunch of hits. So that, and my parents would were really into Bruce Springsteen, would play that tape, Born in the USA, all the time.
Because they're American.
Totally. They're very American. Yeah. They love songs about the working class. But yeah, and that was my first concert. I was probably like, I saw it in I think I was 3. In 1984, Bruce Springsteen played the Orange Bowl, and I went to that. But the first I continued to watch MTV all day long, and the first band I found on my own, or tapes I bought, was like Guns N' Roses, and like I was
sweet
obsessed with Guns N' Roses.
Was it the classic one with like the cross on it?
Yeah. The Paradise City video. I remember like waking up early with my friends. Like we'd have sleepovers and waking up early to like see their videos. So I remember like that I bought Appetite and Lies, and we're really like super into those dudes. And then and kind of like I liked Motley Crue, like all those kind of like hair metal bands that were on MTV. Anything that was on MTV, I was like, this shit's dope. I didn't really like Bon Jovi that much, but like Rat, I liked Rat. I still like Rat. I have like an affinity for that era of music, even though it's like mad dopey. Like that Sunset Scene, I feel like is I recently rewatched. Have you seen Decline of Western Civilization?
Yes,
like the Metal Years.
Oh, okay, so like the second one, right?
Yeah. It's all on like those hair metal bands,
right.
And like the Sunset Strip, and it's super funny, but I feel like that was like a unique kind of funny time.
Yeah.
And then as I got a little older, I think it was 5th grade, like Nirvana. I remember buying like Nirvana, Nevermind, and Pearl Jam 10, and that was like that was kind of my group of, like I feel like 5th through 7th grade is kind of when you start forming like your own.
Right. Yeah, I was just having this discussion with my buddy. I was like, when did you stray off and kind of start like getting your own taste for music? Because like at a certain point, you're just like whatever you're listening to is what you're consuming.
Whatever's on the radio,
yeah.
like, and it doesn't
whatever
matter.
your parents are playing, or like if you're walking through like a store, that's what you're into. And
totally.
Like, you still don't have like a way to get it, even if you do. Like, I really don't know what that is, but. Yeah, like that's rad, but I would say about like middle school era.
Yeah, kind of around that, and that's when you start buying the clothes of those people too.
Yeah,
like it kind of becomes a thing. Like you're hanging out. You start going to like birthday parties where boys and girls are at.
Yep, always
kind
sweet.
of.
Yep.
Yeah, you gotta have your gear on.
So a good ratio to that too.
Yeah, like the Pearl Jam 10 T-shirt with like the stick figure guy with like a flannel over was a big look. CK1 was a big thing. Shoplifting always goes hand in hand. I feel like at that age, vandalism.
Were you getting into that kind of stuff at that age?
Yeah, we would steal CDs from Blockbuster Music.
Blockbuster Music.
Yeah,
right.
I lived in Texas around this time.
Okay.
But yeah, I would steal CDs from there. Before that, we would steal like baseball cards from the grocery store.
Right.
But yeah, that was kind of, I don't know, music, and I feel kind of grateful for the biggest thing in the world, or biggest band in the world, to be Nirvana at that time. Like, I feel like stuff like that. Like music brings people together, or you get it, like to have like a guy that smart, like a high art brained dude who's also like name checking Daniel Johnston and all these other, like, you know, wearing T-shirts of these fucking bands I would never hear of, like to be the main guy, for him to be the main dude that everyone's down with, like that. I don't know, I feel like that's like kind of good. Like I was talking about before, having Prince be the like most popular artist, or like there's a substance to those people that I think I don't know, it's just a cool thing for that to be like your introduction as a kid into music. As opposed, like when I was like later in high school, it was like the big bands were like Limp Bizkit and Korn. And I fuck with that shit. Like there's some of those songs like now I'll revisit, I'm like, yo, this is Freak on a Leash is a good fucking song. But, you know, like if like you're like this is just good. Like you know, like or Break Stuff, Limp Bizkit rips. Like there's like as you get
Nookie.
Nookie. Deftones are really good. I've been like revisiting some of that stuff. I feel like they were like the smarter ones of that kind of thing. But yeah, Groups. Nirvana was a big deal in like middle school.
Yeah, like it wasn't just like the quote unquote alternative crowd that was.
No, it was like bros had like Nirvana unplugged and would listen to before bed.
Sweet.
Yeah, no, you're still Kurt. That's why Kurt killed himself.
Yeah,
he couldn't handle it.
He said, "You know what? I'm doing this for one group of kids, and all the kids like it, and I gotta go."
Yeah.
But do you subscribe to the idea that he committed suicide, or do you think that Courtney Love had a part in it?
No, I think he killed himself. I think he's like a depressed. And like when anyone I've known who's like done heroin, like that's never ended like really well. I mean, there's a few people that I know of that are like clean and gotten through that, but like a lot of the time, like most of the people in it, and like some of them were acquaintances or just people you know from hanging out in like music scene stuff or see at shows, but like they either like committed suicide or like died, you know, quit for a little bit and then had like a relapse. And then, like, that's kind of when people die because your body's not used to the amount that you take, you know? So, like, you quit for a little bit and then you, like, slip up and go back. Oh, man, yeah. And, like, so I think that guy would just, like, but I also think, like, success, I think that's got to be a head fuck. You're this guy that, like,
oh, sure.
The type of dude who literally, like, chased you down hated you.
Yeah.
Is now, like, front row at your shows. Like that has to. I know the Beastie Boys went through something like that.
Yeah, like Fight for Your Right to Party.
Yeah.
Fucking loved them. Like this is a joke song.
Yeah, it's a joke, and they're like no, dude. Like all these frat guys who would like chase them down the street became like running to like the front row, and I think that was a bit of a head fuck. But I think that
which would suck is like I'm mocking you to your face and you're loving it.
But I think there was 3 of them, and they were all friend. Like not that I know Chris and Kurt were really like old friends, but Kurt was like the main guy, you know, like when you're the songwriter and the look. I don't know, like it's crazy how like good that band is. Like I've been listening to them, like their live recordings and stuff a lot lately, and like it's the best songwriting. It's like a high art brain. You have like that generation's like John Bonham playing drums. Like it's not a mistake. Like I feel like for bands to get that big, like the vocals need to cut through and the drums need to be right.
Sure.
And like had they not gotten Dave Grohl, and you could hear the difference in the other guy. Like Dave Grohl is a genius drummer, you know, like a beast of like Foo Fighters. You can say whatever, you know, like it's not necessarily I like that song Everlong, but like I don't really listen to it. But like him as just a drummer is like freakish. But yeah. So yeah, I was into those groups in middle school.
While vandalizing.
Egging cars.
What was your best piece of vandalism that you did?
I don't remember. Like we just used to. It was a lot of egging and like paintballing buses.
Oh,
like that.
City buses or school buses?
Yeah, no, city buses.
Oh, okay, yeah, good, yeah.
It was just like a lot of that sort of thing.
Yeah, just youth stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, that you later realize is
not the best,
like selfish and not good. You know, someone has to clean this up, like just smashing a bottle in the middle of a park. You know,
but you're not thinking of the repercussions.
No, dude, you're like
that.
some stupid dude.
Yeah, you're just a kid. Yeah, coming out.
Yeah.
I mean, but it's good to get clarity now because you know if you did it, I mean, like that would just be something else. But I mean,
if I was 38 years old, still smashing bottles in parking lots and stealing and throwing eggs at stuff, yeah, that'd be a regression.
Sure.
Yeah.
But, you know, whatever. Teach its own, I guess.
Maybe next weekend you can get together.
Yeah, we're gonna go. Ralph's Park.
Yeah, no, totally.
Yeah, there's always some wacky shit going on there.
Yeah. Behind Vaughn's is always a good time.
Yeah. Vaughn's. I like to go behind Albertsons and dick around with like shopping carts.
That was kind of CKY style.
Yeah.
I actually saw I don't know if you follow Bam Margera on.
No, but he's going crazy.
No,
right
so
now.
he always is he doing it again? He does it periodically, but he's like had a couple different. It's like maybe 5 or 6 times where he just like loses it.
Yeah, Dr. Phil. He went on Dr. Phil.
Yeah, he did that whole thing, and he like creates his own language. And he's like, no one he's just out of his mind.
Yeah.
But there's one he was having during one of his meltdowns on Instagram. Some kid commented, he was like, oh, and he's like, Bam, you're my hero. You've been my hero forever. Like, just go behind Wawa and break some bottles. Like, he was going through a breakup. Whatever. He's like, it's like basically go behind Vaughn's and like smash some bottles. You'll get through it.
There's still loading docks. Go the shopping.
Totally. And I thought that was the raddest comment.
But he's been going off like the deep end.
Yeah.
But he listens, so we can't really talk too much shit on him.
Does he really?
No,
He's
kidding.
a big.
Could you imagine? I mean, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah,
Bam,
yeah.
if you're listening, hit me up. But yeah, that'd be an interesting one. Old jackass guys. The jackass guys are really nice though. I haven't met Bam, but like Chris Pontius.
Yeah. Who did Wild Boys?
Really nice guy.
Dude, that show like fucked everyone's head up. I remember when it came out, it was like appointment viewing. I'd make sure I was home 10 minutes before it started.
Right.
Because it was like before DVR and stuff, and like those movies are incredible. Like, Spike Jonze is a genius. Like, I don't know, like that.
Yeah, and now he's doing like professional stuff, which is insane. Like the Her thing.
Yeah.
I didn't see that, but I was like, man, that won awards, and like, I just crazy. Like, I don't think he ever thought like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna
skateboarding, dude.
Yeah, from skateboarding to like commercials.
Yeah,
that's insane.
I recently watched a documentary on Big Brother's skate magazine.
Yeah, was it The Man Who Sold the World? That one?
No, but on Rocco, I want to see that one. Though.
Yeah,
I met that guy. Like that guy's so fucking fascinating to me.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Like the amount of money he would throw around and like
not caring at all,
not give a fuck. Truly, not give a fuck about anything.
Just go spend it and I'll cancel the card.
Yeah,
whatever. Like
and
that
what
kind of
and
stuff.
like just kind of like what would he used to do like ads where he'd like be fucking with Powell or something like
right,
Powell
right.
And like just like that kind of renegade I do not care.
Yeah. He said like fuck Thrasher and fuck Trans World.
Fuck everything.
If you're not gonna print my ads, and I'm gonna do my own thing, which is amazing.
And that's
great.
Yeah, I'm kind of. My brother and I are both like fascinated with that dude. I need to see that documentary. But no, there's one on Big Brother.
I have it on DVD. I'm lend it to you for sure because I saw it in a skate. I was like, I gotta get that. Like I haven't seen it since at all. Like it was on YouTube for a while. I don't know if it's on YouTube anymore, but like I remember watching. Like that's like fascinating. Like marketing wise, he was a genius in it, and like the cease and assist that he would get, and he's like, okay, well, whatever. It's like all the boards are sold out on whatever. It's fine. Like it's done.
Totally. And some stuff would go like did not just that like, which I don't even think you can really do anymore. No
way. No way. You could do this
you
stuff.
You can't do stuff like that. But like I don't. Maybe it's because like I like like when someone's truly does not give a fuck. And smart about it. Yeah. It is like the most appealing thing to me.
It's so good. That's very interesting guy.
Yeah. Steve Rocco, shout out.
Steve Rocco. Jeez, yeah. Okay, so back to music.
Oh, yeah,
back to music. Yeah. And we'll talk about some skateboarding stuff later. Yeah. But so when did you moved from Dallas, right?
Yeah, so I kind of lived all over as a kid. Like,
okay.
Like kind of 12 different places, but middle school, 6th grade, I moved to Dallas, and I started playing guitar like kind of 5th grade, and always played a lot. But I never was in a band. I would kind of jam with my friend who played bass, and this is in Texas, and this same friend turned me on to like all the kind of punk things. Like he had a really young dad, who had really good taste in music.
The young dads, those
young dad. He's like from Oklahoma, like like straight up like had him when he was like 17 or 18.
Sure,
but his dad had like sick taste in music, and we saw Rancid on MTV. I remember seeing like that Salvation video, and it was like, oh, that what is this? Because I hadn't really known what like about punk things, and like my friend like was already into it and had got me into like it's like Rancid, Operation Ivy, Dead Kennedys, Black Flag, like those like the punk bands that get sold, their T-shirts get sold at like bong shops. You know, there's like a hierarchy like those bands, but also like the Replacements, the Iggy Pop and the Stooges, Johnny Thunders, Elvis Costello. Like it was like I got all of the bands kind of in one wave, from this one friend.
Which are varying waves as well.
Totally, it's all different,
like,
different stuff. Like that was kind of the cool thing about it. It wasn't like he was just into. He's really just into like good music. Like he's really into Nick Cave and really into just like a wide variety of like alt things. And that was big for me because like there wasn't, I couldn't find like a list on the internet. You know, like to have like that friend who's like into the shit. So I got, and then you know, once you listen to those bands, you find out the bands that influenced them or the bands that they were like. You find out about Husker Du once you start listening to Replay. You know, like the bands that those bands came up with are a part of that sort of
scene.
Yeah, that like, kind of scene. So that was really like formative for me. Like a lot of those like 80s college rock bands and like the proto-punk, like the stuff before, like I really loved like the Stooges, the MC5, that kind of like Rust Belt guitars, and like the dudes just looked like, I really liked how the Stooges just like looked like losers who like guys who hang out behind Albertsons. You know what I'm talking about? Like it wasn't like the uniform of like we have the mohawk and like the belt. It was just like some ugly.
We don't have a shirt. We don't have a
no
shirt.
Just like kind of like that like face, you know, like those. Just, like I don't know what those kids do. Like they smoke dope, but they're not this or that. Just
right.
Like, I cross the street when I see them.
You
know, just like guys who hang out in parking lots.
Those youths.
Yeah, totally.
The youths, angsty teens.
Those angsty teens.
Oh man, yeah. Which I feel like that's kind of. I mean, they're in the mainstream of like music now, or even like I feel like that kind of generation is kind of like lost. Like there's nothing like that anymore. That people are the youths that are just like dirty and grimy and like doing whatever they want. It just seems like it's so orchestrated now.
Yeah,
which is interesting. Or maybe I'm just not in the scene.
That's what because I'm like for sure not in the scene at all anymore. But I'm like there has to be
something going on
because that's just how it works.
Right.
Every time, every there's some sort of underground or like outsider on the fringes type of thing. But
DIY stuff. Even.
Yeah, but I don't really know. I feel like I don't really know. If I find out like someone cool is not on Instagram, like I love that person. You know, like it's not like it, but I understand that's like how things work now. Like you have to kind of be, but like I feel like I don't know. There has to be something, but I know like then like it wasn't cool. Like it wasn't easy being those guys. I don't think just like it like how skateboarding's cool now. Like skaters used to be like not that I ever skated or could ever skate for shit, but like that used to be like a really looked down upon thing. Like you were like a fuck up. I feel like it's the same thing.
You're doing drugs and where are they?
No, totally. Like it's like the same thing. Like it wasn't good. Like your parents were bummed that you were into that.
Do baseball.
No. Now kids have like skate you know, like I feel like things are just a little slightly different, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know too much about what's going on, but I'm sure there's someone's got to be doing.
Right. Yeah.
Got to be up to something.
So anyways, so you were jamming with your buddy playing bass. You were playing guitar, right?
I was playing guitar. My buddy was playing bass. And then in 10th grade, right before 10th grade, I moved to San Diego.
So this is middle high school, like sophomore year.
Yeah, sophomore year of high school.
So and that transition is like kind of crazy.
It was fucking brutal.
Yeah.
And I moved to a high school that had like 3,000 kids, Torrey Pines High School. And like I showed up and kids were saying like gnarly and rad. And I was like, what the fuck? Where it's like, yeah, cowabunga, dude. Like, where am I? Like these kids talk like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle. Like it was like weird.
Yeah.
I had no friends. Like no one would even talk to me. Like I'd start like with like low the lowest I could go, like the biggest loser there. I'd be like, hey, what's up, man? Nothing. That guy was like, I don't want anything to do with you.
Kids are brutal then, dude. They're like,
and you're moving in the middle of high school, and I dressed I had my own kind of like unique
style
of dressing that was essentially like Odd Future, like 13 years, or I don't know how many years before that happened. Like, they would wear like the shorts, the high socks.
Yeah.
And then I'd have like a band t-shirt on. I was also like very ugly.
What kind of shoes were you rocking?
Pink Chuck Taylors with like the high socks. But then I'd wear like a Bruce Springsteen shirt, which was like in high school in like 1999. It was like, why are you wearing...
Your parents look it out there. Yeah. Yeah. There we go. Yeah, we just said some wild stuff we couldn't.
Yeah.
So going back to what you were saying, I don't know when it cut off, but anyways, high school. You're
so I was kind of doing
baseball.
Yeah, doing like baseball stuff.
Mischievous stuff too.
Yeah. That was kind of the beginning of like the partying stuff. It was kind of like 9th, 10th grade.
Right.
And then just kind of still like into music, but baseball was like a full year thing. Like I was never in a band or anything like that. I would just kind of like play in my room. Got a baseball scholarship, went to college.
Oh wow, okay. So you really rode that out.
Yeah. So
Wow.
it was kind of like full-time thing. And then when I was in college, I became friends with Matt Lampkin, who's the singer of the Soft Pack.
Who? No.
Yeah.
No,
That guy.
What band? Yeah.
So he was a grade below me.
This is in college?
Yeah, kind of my freshman year of college.
Okay.
And his senior year of high school.
Okay.
So like when I would come back I went to school in Virginia, so when I would come back on breaks, we would like hang out.
How did you guys meet? Did you?
Through a mutual friend I had creative writing class with. This guy named Ryan McReynolds, who he ended up putting out that first Muslims record.
Really?
Yeah.
It was he was printing stuff, or
he just I think he'd only put out our album and maybe a couple of tapes, but it was like a small thing.
Okay, so it was a limited pressing. Now, is that for the Muslims record that you're talking about? Is it the picture of you on the front, or is it?
No, it's the one. It's like what?
Yeah.
Not me personally, but I understand you.
Yeah.
I have empathy for you. Right?
I appreciate it, man. Thank you.
Yeah, just let me know, whatever.
No, yeah, I think we're back on. I don't know how many times it's gonna do that, but in any case, so
yeah, freshman year of college, I started hanging out with Matt when I'd come home on breaks, and Matt and a couple of our other friends who were really into music, and we would kind of sometimes jam, but like mostly just like drink beer and like listen to like he had heard of this band or just like kind of like show each other music and
which is always great. That's awesome.
Oh, it was the best. Yeah. It was probably like the most.
That's where you find the most like great stuff. Like you're like this.
Yeah,
is
and at that
rad.
age, it's all you care about. Like
Right.
This is the most important thing.
Yeah.
To me, like, is to like find out more about these bands, find out more records.
Like, what are they?
Buy cooler clothes. And at that time, that was like the beginning of like wearing like tight jeans. Like I wanted like I had to get like diesel jeans, which sounds like insane now, but like that was like one of the few ones that had to wear like that had like the more like tight fit.
Sure.
This is like 2001.
Diesel jeans, man.
Yeah, we went and saw Modest Mouse when I was home over the summer.
Sweet.
Hot Snakes. At the drive-in was a very big deal then.
You know, drive-in in your town.
No, that band at the drive-in.
Oh, I thought you said you.
No.
All right,
no.
got it. Gotcha.
No, we didn't.
Gotcha.
I don't think we had a drive-in, but
if you did, it would be vandalized already.
It would have been. Yeah,
it's already done. So you meet Matt.
Yeah.
Through a mutual, I don't know if it got
through a mutual friend who ended up putting out our Muslims record.
So you start hanging out with him a bit.
Yeah. Start hanging out with him.
Was he also doing guitar?
Yeah, he was kind of just like playing guitar. Mm-hmm. No one was in a band, and then we would just kind of. Eventually, he went to school like a year later, and we would hang out on breaks.
Not in Virginia though. He wouldn't go to school in Virginia.
No. He went to school First, I think he went to Santa Barbara and then transferred to UC San Diego.
Oh wow. Okay. So closer, way closer than you, I guess.
Yeah. He stayed local.
So you guys would jam and then when did you guys make it like a thing? Like, you know what, we just keep on doing this.
After my junior year of college, or senior year, I went and interned for French Kiss Records, and kind of that was my first, like being around like more of like a music scene sort of thing, or just being like, it was always like a dream in my head, but kind of being like going to see shows every night and meeting people at labels and meeting bands,
networking and seeing
kind of, or just more just like
do.
not being laughed at. You know what I'm talking about? Like, I'm
Right.
like, I'm not cool enough to hang out. But then they're like, no, like seeing like, oh, this isn't as scary as it was, because we were just in the suburbs kind of before that, like in Del Mar.
Right.
Yeah, I finished my senior year, and I remember calling them wasted. I'm like, let's do a band. And I moved back to San Diego.
No, it was so this is the initial kind of assembling, which was not Dave, right? Dave.
No, that was not for a little while. This is like 2005. We told everyone we had a band for like a year and a half. We weren't a band.
It was a group.
It's like, we're doing a band. Like, we did not play one show. I maybe written one song. We kind of was just drinking and listening to records.
Was it at this is in San Diego?
San Diego, yeah.
Okay.
We were both delivering pizzas at this place called Del Mar Pizza.
Is that where? Flash forward.
We shot that video there.
Okay. Got it. Were you guys both working there at the time?
Yeah. We were both working there.
Very interesting.
I was living at my mom's.
But that was in like 2000. So I'm sorry not to
jump
cool. back. But so you moved back from New York,
from Virginia, it was like in New York. Had to finish up some school in Virginia.
Oh, okay. So you kind of took a break. You kind of took like it was
just during the summer.
Oh,
I went
so
there.
This is like what, like 2 months probably. Out there?
2 months. But it was like 2 months enough to get like
acquainted.
Confidence, and like being like, I want to like do this. Like, this is kind of what I.
What was your major?
Political science.
That goes hand in hand.
Yeah,
political science.
Political science
music?
has been so helpful. All my jobs have been like making sandwiches, playing guitar, delivering pizzas.
To go to Del Mar Pizza though, right? They're like, do you?
Yeah. They're like, hey, there's a
science, right?
threshold here, education wise.
Explain to us why are we in a recession right now? Like, why?
I don't know.
Are we in growth? Are we
like
in
the guy
recession?
who watches Decline of Western Civilization, the metal years, and baseball on TV. I'm kind of out of the loop.
We caught your game at the high school. We want you to work here. We're gonna sponsor your team, and you're gonna work here.
Yeah. No, totally.
So you moved back from Virginia. You graduated, yeah?
Yep.
With it.
Graduated with a degree.
Awesome. Sweet. So you move back, and you're like, let's fucking do this.
Yeah, but we just didn't do anything. Not sober. No one was sober.
I mean, like, not like a drunken phone call. Like, we're serious.
Oh, I don't even think we talked about it sober.
Oh,
I think I just like moved back. Also during that time, I was like not really sober, like ever.
Which is fine. You're young. You're supposed.
That's what I'm saying. You got to go through that. Later on, it ended up biting me in the ass. But like during that time, you need to venture out and see what I needed to.
You just gotta explore. That was your time. You're going to New York for 2 months.
Yeah, exactly.
Drinking. That's
going to shows and like getting drink tickets
shit when you're like 43. That's gonna be the problem.
Getting
to drink.
Do it when you're a young dude, or woman. I feel like, I had to kind of like, I just wanted to try stuff and see new things,
as everybody does.
Yeah.
So, anyways, that's a perfect time to do it. So
perfect.
You move back. You're trying stuff. You're starting the band.
Delivering pizzas. Telling people we're starting the band. And then it didn't happen until like January 2007. We had booked a show, but opening for our friends band. So we had to like get 2 other members to play with us.
Did you have any songs?
We had like 5.
Oh, 5. Okay.
Yeah. So I think, or maybe 4 in a cover.
Now, were these songs original? I mean, did they come out?
I think they were. I think most of them were on the Muslim. We had Extinction, which is off the Muslims record.
Song. Yeah, which is so interesting because you could tell that it's not. What's his name? Your drummer's name.
Yeah,
I'm blanking on the name.
Brian.
You could tell that it's not Brian.
Yeah, we had like a bunch of drummers.
Totally different. It's just like totally. And then like his style is so like. This is what I mean. Like I guess later on, like because he's in Waves or was.
Yeah, I think he's just recently stopped playing with Waves, but
Yeah.
he was in Waves right after we kind of ended.
Yeah, he's got like such a distinct style, which I mean, it's so rad. It's very
Yeah,
interesting.
he's a ripper.
Yeah, I'm
Great drummer.
Get him on one day, Brian, if you're listening.
Yeah.
we're getting you on
Such a nice man, and
one day.
yeah, super funny. I'm sure he'd come on.
Great.
But yeah. So,
Anyway, so you're trying out to, or you needed 4 people.
yeah, we booked a show, and this was kind of, I didn't think anything was gonna happen after this. It was more like we booked a show, we're gonna play a show, and technically I wasn't lying to my dad what I was doing with my life. I'm like, we played a show. I told
I had political science
or like
degree.
what I was saying, you know, when I was just delivering pizzas, living at my mom's,
Right.
getting drunk every day, like all of this
Sure.
was coming to fruition in that like we're playing a
Those
real
things
show.
are happening, but this is also happening. Just focus on this.
I wasn't completely lying.
No.
So I
I wasn't. I stopped paintballing the buses years
I stopped
ago.
that years ago. I knocked that off. The egging, the TPing.
It's done. It's done.
Yeah, it's over.
Now it's just drinking.
Now it's just bongs and drinking and jamming with my bro at the house.
I haven't been the Blockbuster to steal anything lately.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
fine. I'm
Yeah.
fine. I'm all
I'm
right.
growing up. You
Yeah.
guys need to give me some
I went to
credit.
Virginia.
Yeah, totally. I graduated from a good school.
Okay, so you're getting ready for the
The
this is
show.
the second show, right?
The first show.
First
The
show.
first
Oh,
show.
the first show.
So we play. We had our friend Emily.
was
play
that
bass.
Matt's girlfriend?
No, it
Or
was Matt's girlfriend's friend from college that we would hang out with sometimes, and she was just kind of like doing us a favor.
Okay, because she now there's a video for Extinction. This is on like Fox, I think.
Fox
I saw.
Rocks.
Yeah, Fox Rocks.
That's her. That's Emily.
Okay.
Emily Navu. Yeah.
Great name for a thing though, too. Fox Rocks.
Fox Rocks. That was
Cool.
Yeah,
was it?
yeah.
Was it? I got to be with an X. Gotta
Yeah,
be
yeah,
with an X.
no, it's
Okay,
gotta be.
Thank goodness.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
not CKS. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So anyway, so you get her. She's in and using some.
She's
guys
kind of
who are
just in to help us out.
Right. Standing.
Yeah. And then the first show went really well. And there wasn't a lot of bands in San Diego. I feel like that was kind of a benefit to us, is like there weren't many bands, and there were like next to no really great band. You know, like it wasn't like here where there's like a bunch of bands and there's a lot of really good, like we could play shows all the time and open for cool bands that were coming from LA.
Right. Just so the listeners know, we're in Chula Vista right now. That's what you're referring to, right?
Yeah.
Chula Vista is
In
where
Chula
it's happening.
Vista,
Yeah, that's where it's happening.
home of the Zeros. Yeah.
San Diego, no, but Chula Vista, yeah.
Yeah. That's the spot.
That's a rocking spot. Yeah.
But yeah, so we were kind of able to play a bunch of shows and open for cool bands. And one of the bands that we opened for that we were really into was Mika Miko from up here.
Okay.
And they came down and we opened for them. And
Did you just ask, like, hey, can we?
no, like there's a dude, kind of a promoter guy, this guy named Mario, who's still not the Whistle Stop. There's like he runs a venue or books a venue. Is it Space? I think it's Space down there. He also has a record label called Dream. But he was like the main dude.
Were you guys on Dream at all at one point?
My
Or
solo
your stuff is
my solo record
Yeah.
was on Dream.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, so he
Which
booked,
we will get to.
Yeah,
We're
we'll
gonna
get
plug
to
that. We're gonna
Great.
plug it.
Oh
yeah.
man. But
We're
yeah.
not skipping town on that one.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
So he would book cool bands from LA, and we would kind of open for them, and just play. I think we played shows for like maybe a year in San Diego, and then
all
moved
around?
to LA. Just like there's a place called the Casbah is like kind of the
Still
bigger,
there?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's kind of like
the Shea Cafe, was that there?
Yeah, we played some shows there, but then they shut it down. They shut it down.
Around the
But we
same
played there
time.
for a little. We played there. We'd play this place called the Tower Bar, and there's a beauty bar there that's no longer there that we would play pretty frequently. But it was really great. It was the first band Matt and I had ever been in.
that did stuff
That
that like
we
jammed or anything.
Yeah,
That's
anything,
awesome.
anything.
Oh, man, that's great.
And I remember like kind of I had gotten like a computer and like an M-Box, and we had made a recording of us, like a fake recording of us playing at my mom. We would practice at my mom's of us like playing a show, and we like overdub claps, and we'd tell people like, oh yeah, like it was we covered that Psycho Mafia The Fall song, and we're like, yeah, we played a show in Riverside, like people were pretty stoked on it.
I was
but we
gonna say Orange County.
yeah,
that's
it's
great.
like, nah, dude, it's like saying you have a girlfriend who goes to like another school or something.
Nobody ever is gonna fact check that at all, ever. Riverside? I mean, I don't even know if there's a place out there right now. But yeah, that's nobody.
So yeah, prior to the first show, we had told people we were building a following in Riverside.
Yeah,
from our
that's
one
the
great
place.
show.
That is the place that you do it. That's where
you
all
start.
great bands start. Name one band.
Yeah. San Bernardino County is where.
That's it. That's BC, dude. That's where it is.
You can
Bob
make
Dylan.
It there.
Bob Dylan, Creedence Clearwater Revival, the Beatles. I kid you not, dude. Yeah.
Totally.
That's awesome, dude. Okay, so you're getting stuff together. You're playing
shows, and we're like kind of realizing like people really liked it, and we really liked it. I remember like maybe like halfway through like the second song that we were playing, I was really nervous prior to playing, but I was like, oh fuck, like we're pretty good. Like it felt like Matt was great.
You had a real thing going. It's like
it felt really. I remember being like, if it was like a special feeling that I hadn't really. I was like, oh man, this is special. Not only that, like we thought it was good, but also like this sounds like us and the things that we're into. It didn't. I don't know if that makes sense. You know, when something matches your personality that you're making, you're like, oh, this is me. This isn't me trying to.
Or
like,
even the songs that you like. You're playing songs that you
exactly.
Would
like that was the thing. I'm like, I like this.
Which is
and I like
awesome.
Matt's lyrics. I thought Matt's lyrics are really smart, and I really liked his voice.
Now, did you guys ever collaborate lyric wise?
No,
writing songs.
Never. He always wrote all the lyrics, and like sometimes he would have songs, like completely done. Like he would write a song, or like I would write music for something, or I would have like a bass line that goes into another bass line, and then we'd work it out together. But that was
it was collaborative.
Yeah, it was
throughout the whole thing. Was it like that?
Yeah, for like all the Muslim. Yeah, kind of from the beginning, it was like that. And like on one of those prior to jump backwards, like on one of those like breaks from college where we would hang out, he recorded me playing bass, this bass line that I'd come up with just like messing around with him, and then had turned that into Brightside, that song off the Muslims record.
Okay.
So we kind of already had one song before we even really started, just because he had it recorded and like he just did lyrics and vocals to it. It's just it's one bass line the whole time. But yeah, so we would just kind of get together and work on songs. He was still going to college at UCSD, so I'd pick him up from school, and we'd go to my mom's house.
Carpooling, man.
Yeah. Because I forgot. I think he got in a car accident. He couldn't drive. So I would like sometimes get him at school, and then we would just kind of work on tunes together, and then get various people to like play drums and bass.
Yeah, just switching on and on, in and out.
Yeah, like whoever could do it. Like there's a guy named Gabe played drums for us. The first drummer was this kid named Marcelo, who we went to high school with, who like ripped, big time ripped as a musician. He might have been the one who was playing drums on. This kid Gavin may have been playing on Extinction, the recording you were talking about earlier. It was a lot of people. Emily played bass. This kid Richie played bass. Like just kind of like whoever we could like piece it together to play.
Sure, whoever was around, yeah. And then, so you guys started doing that, and then when did it become the finalized lineup that you guys were working with?
I like self-booked a West Coast tour, and I'd always like Brian Hill, who ended up joining the band. He was like my favorite drummer. Like I was like, ooh, if we could ever get Brian. But he played in my friend's band, and he was in this band called The Plot to Blow Up the Eiffel Tower. Like I like loved watching him play drums.
Was he still doing the stand-up thing?
No, too? He was just doing sit-down stuff.
Okay.
But was just like a ripper. And then he wasn't in any bands, and I was like, oh, I booked this tour. Like, would you join and play with us? And he said yes.
How are you booking shows?
I was like writing venue. I forgot how I did it. it was like
It was just you, no promoter. You were the promoter.
no promoter. It was like me. It was like through maybe some of it was on MySpace or writing venues. We went out with this band, our friend's band called The Sesh from San Diego, and the tour. Although I had fun, it was like brutal. It was so fucking bad. Like,
where did you guys hit? So you
we went all the way up to Seattle.
Midway north, okay,
and then back.
I mean, it makes sense though. Okay, so
yeah, but it
San
sucked.
Diego. Did you hit Riverside? I hope you did, dude.
That's east. We just went. We had some shows in LA, dude, and just kept heading north. But I think we played like San Francisco. I think we played a house party in Oakland.
So just some random dude was like, "Hey, please come."
Yeah, I think
come
like at that
play?
time, like MySpace was like the thing. So like some bands had already played this kind of house party stuff, and then we played in Portland and Seattle, and then I think San Francisco again on the way down. But like it wasn't
double back in on the house show. We're coming back.
Yeah. So like no one came. It was the other band we toured with were a lot of fun. I was kind of a mess on that tour, and then afterwards Brian was like, I don't want to play with you guys anymore.
Oh man, why?
Because like he'd already been through, like he'd been in a real band that had like toured, and like this was like our first time doing something, and I was like beyond. It like was beyond shitty, and like I was like super drunk the whole time. Like it was just kind of like he wasn't up for doing that again, and then we got some South by Southwest gigs. I forgot. I think like the blog thing had kind of started to happen with like the band. So we started getting people were emailing us about playing like some South by Southwest stuff. I remember
exposure and stuff.
Yeah, like Todd P was like this dude who was a big time dude in like the New York DIY scene, and he had like a party that was like kind of a big deal to play. Vice asked us to play their thing.
Oh wow.
And we had some other stuff because I guess like that was like the beginning of that blog. So like I didn't know why people were writing us or why there were so many plays on our MySpace page.
Yeah, how do people get
like but like I guess that we'd kind of become one of those like blog bands, and so I begged Brian to play South by Southwest. I was like, please just do this, like this would mean so much. And I begged him for weeks. Like every time I would see him, it shows up like please. He's like, I don't know, and then he said yes.
Man.
And
So
like then that
you
started.
got him.
Yeah, and it was great. Like we played well. We had a really fun time. Dialed back the stupidity a little bit on my end. I dialed that back. And just like we had like a really fun time, and like people were starting to notice the band, and I think he saw that like, that maybe this band could do something. I don't know, like that could like maybe like he liked playing in the band. He liked us as people. And it wasn't just like sleeping on floor, like it was that maybe there was like some sort of future with it. But yeah, that's kind of when Brian and Dave became like full on main members. Yeah.
So did you, so the first thing that you guys put out, were they playing on it? On the first
on some of it. I think like on like half of it. And then like we had done some recordings with other people that like we tried re-recording, but for some reason it didn't sound as good. Like Extinction, we used the original recording that Matt and we just recorded ourselves to put songs up on MySpace, and for some reason it kind of just sounded better, even though we had done things raw. Things were kind of boomier or whatever.
Sure.
It just had sometimes there's just a feeling better with like certain recordings, even if it's like of shittier quality.
First, which is still the same with any other band. It's like I like the studio version, but this demo version's better.
Yeah, dude, the
like,
demo always wins. Like or like the first record, like we signed a deal. We're gonna like re-record some of these songs, and you're like, it doesn't knock like it did like when you recorded it at your mom's and it was super shitty. And we were listening to
my
it
mom yelling in the background at the end. That's what's up.
Yeah, totally.
It's like that DRI song. I think it's like off the DRI album, and like whoever's house they're playing, like the dad comes, he's like, you need to like. Stop it! It's too loud.
Yeah.
That's just like great. That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
So you guys were the Muslims in the beginning.
Yeah, we were the Muslims.
I'm not gonna make you say it because you just said it so many times in interviews. You switched the name. It wasn't working out. So
yeah.
Switched to the Soft Pack.
Yeah, we switched. So we played at CMJ in that October, and then we started. That was when like label started to take us out for lunch and offer us like deals.
Ooh, good deal.
Oh, which was like the most.
Was it? And that was still in San Diego.
No, it was we were living in, or maybe were living in LA at that point, but we had like.
Did you guys all make the switch? You guys all at the same time?
Eventually, yeah. 3 of us had moved up here. Me, Dave, and Matt had, and Brian was still in San Diego, and then we convinced Brian to move up.
Was he staying there for a reason? Like, I kind of gotta.
He had a job down there, but then it was a job he didn't like.
Del Mar Pizza, dude.
No, he worked at Scripps Hospital as like some sort of administrative assistant kind of gig.
So that's like a real kind of gig thing.
Kind of. He didn't like it, but he doesn't like. He's not like a.
Let me switch it up.
Fly by the seat of my pants kind of guy. We were like, dude, move up here. Like
everyone else is doing it.
Yeah. And like the band's people are into the band. Like,
did you guys all live together?
Me and Dave, the bassist, lived together. For a little while.
Matt had his own thing.
Matt lived with his girlfriend and another couple, and then Brian ended up living with Kate Hall from Mika Miko, and I believe there was another person who lived at that. Oh, Stephanie from this band called Finally Punk. That was really good.
Okay, so you finally got everybody up here, and
got everyone up here.
That's when record label started to get.
Yeah. We kind of
get courting by him.
Yeah, and like that.
Courted.
Or CMJ like after that, and we had like signed with like a manager at that time, and that was like, oh, we're gonna like do this for like a living. So that was like a really fun time.
What year was that? Like 2005, 6?
No, this is like 2009.
Okay.
2008 or 9. I think CMJ 2009.
Okay.
So we signed a record deal. And while I was up here, I used to work at this place called VP Discount, this health food store over on Beverly. That's no longer there, but it was like the best. It was a great job to have here. Me and
Lenient, I'm assuming.
They were super cool, and I worked there. Another guy from this band called Abe Vagoda had gotten me the job there. I worked in like the deli.
That sounds familiar.
Yeah, they were really good. They were like a band, like they were part of that like smell scene. So it was like Mika Miko, Abe Vagoda, No Age, were like the bigger bands from that kind of
No
smell
Age
scene.
is still. I love how there's still just like guitar, drums.
Yeah, totally.
No
Those
bass.
guys are smart dudes.
Crazy. I saw them. They opened up for Tijuana Panthers. Shout out to Chad and Dan and Phil, by the way.
Great guys.
Because they listen. They listen.
Oh, nice. Nice.
What's
up, guys?
I hope that they're
Phil
listening.
Shaheen, what up?
Yeah, you guys are the best. But yeah, they opened up for them. They're great.
Totally.
I didn't know that they were smell.
They were like the ones who like kind of like made that place.
$5.
It became like very like it was like this DIY venue that had been there, but like it became like sort of at that time like sort of like an epicenter of like cool band. Like there was a lot of attention focused on those bands in that place.
At that time. Got it. Okay, so everybody's moved up here.
Everyone's moved up here.
You're doing the stuff, you're getting
playing
courted.
shows.
Yeah.
And getting like booking agents and kind of all that like business stuff was kind of coming together then, which was a cool feeling. Like I always wanted to be in it, even though I would say, oh, I just want to play for, like it was uncool to say that you wanted to like make it, but like I just so badly wanted to fucking make it. Like
you keep your dreams to yourself, pal.
Yeah. No, totally. Like you don't talk about it. Like no, I just want to sit here and play with you guys forever. Like I didn't. I wanted to like be on TV and
I want some drink tickets.
Yeah, totally. I wanted to make it. So I was like super stoked. I was like, holy shit, it's happening.
Yeah.
And we were able to quit our jobs.
How often? How long were you doing that job, or how long was everybody having jobs for?
Probably like a year,
okay.
Or maybe not even that really long.
Wow.
Since moving up here, it was probably we had jobs for a year. Matt worked at like a telemarketing thing, which he would like get sent home from, and I would pick him up, and then we would work on music, pick him up again.
Like
we'd go back
college.
Work on tunes.
So where were you guys doing that? You guys, I mean, like,
where would we play?
Yeah, where would you guys like rehearse and whatnot?
Me and Dave had this house, this like back house in Echo Park.
And it was fine. It was cool.
Yeah. They were. The neighbors were okay with it. Now that I think back on it, I'm like, no, the neighbors are cool with it. It's like, dude, no one's cool with like live drums and like fucking amps and. But at the time, I'm like, yeah, like she said it was chill.
Yeah.
But
what's up, Cheryl?
Yeah. How's it going? But yeah, we were on tour during that time, and someone got like shot. Some car rolled up on like a car It was
my
parked in front of the
gosh.
front house. Because we had a couple other roommates that were home, and they shot like 2 dudes in that car. One dude ran off, and we would like never lock our doors like morons. And the guy was hiding
It's
in
a
this
back
back
house, man.
area.
It's not the front house.
No,
It's
it's
fine.
cool. Like dumb kids from the suburbs who haven't lived in the city.
You. It was you.
No, I was gone. I was gone.
No, it would be like what you were doing if you were over here.
Yeah, no, I would have completely left the door unlocked. But yeah, so like that kind of then the guy was like looking for the dude they were shooting at, like
What?
back there and like knocking on our
What
door,
were
even
they-
though the door was unlocked. He was like banging on the door, and our roommates were freaked out. And then kind of when we got back off tour, we're like, yeah, let's find someone. else to
So
live.
it was happening when you guys were on tour, and they were looking for the guy that was in the back.
They shot at 2 dudes, killed one of them.
What?
The other guy like
Was
got
it-
shot, but like ran to this backyard.
Okay, and then they
Like
just kind
to
of
where
fell
our
out.
house was,
Uh-huh.
and like the guy, I don't know if he was hiding behind this guy's truck, but this dude who was trying to kill him was like knocking on our door,
Mm-hmm.
and like I forgot what he was saying, like
Just
but our
open it,
roommates
man.
were like were upstairs, like could hear everything, and then
Okay,
the guy
yeah.
like ran off through like there's like a little meadow area, like in between houses. There's just like grass, and he ran off through there.
It seems like a really pretty scene. For
No.
this bad stuff
It's
to
like east
happen.
of Sunset, Echo
Gorgeous.
Park in 2008.
Gorgeous,
not,
dude. You're
not
painting a
yet.
picture, dude.
Now
You're
it-
Ernest Hemingway, man. You're just painting it with words. I love it. So you guys said, okay, enough is enough. We got to move, right?
I was still kind of like, but we practice here. Dave was like, no, we're
you're
moving
still
now.
into it. You're
Because
just
I'm like the dream.
They're not going to come back
I don't
again.
want to pay for a spin. It's the odds of this happening again. He's like, no, we're fucking out here.
I'll lock the door.
So I moved to Highland Park and lived with some other people. And he moved to like East Holly, like Virgil Village area.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you guys just was splitting up a bit. And
We split up a
but
little
still,
bit. But it was kind of healthy because we were starting to tour and do things, so it was like good to not live
close
together
proximity
as the
and-
band.
Yeah.
As the band was
'Cause the
picking up.
tension and stuff.
Tensions.
Hey,
Tensions happen.
Yeah, that's right. So when did you guys put out the first album? as-
2008.
Softback.
That self-titled one. 2010.
And is that the one that you guys are on the beach, right?
Yeah, that
What
one.
is that? Is that here or is that down south?
That's no, that's here. That's in my mom was living in Venice. That's in Venice. We went and shot that.
That's what I thought. And then just skipping ahead a bit for your album cover, the first
Same thing,
US
Venice.
Underground. Okay, that's what I thought. I thought it was on the
Yeah.
boardwalk. All right,
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah.
So you guys are doing that, and everything's going good. So how many albums you guys put out? You guys put out 3 or 4?
Yeah.
under
No, we put out
the-
3. So like the Muslims one, and then the self-titled, and then a record called Strapped.
And these are all under different record labels, right? the last
One
one-
was just our friend. The first one was just our friend.
Right. What was his name again?
Ryan McReynolds.
Ryan McReynolds.
1928 Recordings was the name of his label, and then the other ones were on. Well, the first one was on Kamado,
Okay.
which is like the same thing as Mexicans. Like it was like they were called Kamado, and then Mexican Summer was like this smaller kind of label that was attached to them.
Okay.
But then Mexican Summer got bigger than Kamado, so now it's just Mexican Summer.
So
But it's the same guys.
So it kind of absorbed Kamado.
Yeah.
Mexican
And then
Summer, okay.
and then the second one was like under Mexican Summer.
Okay.
But the same dudes put
Yeah.
out the record.
Okay. Nice. So how many? So is 3 albums or 4 albums?
3 albums.
3 albums. Between 2008 and 2012.
Yeah, I think the last one came out in 2012. Yeah.
Okay. And what, if you don't mind
I don't
saying,
know. Yeah, I don't mind.
what happened? Why did it end?
I think like we were pretty burned out. Kind of as like that hype band stuff. Like prior to the first record coming out, there was a lot of like hype and expectation, and we were saying yes to everything. We're like, oh yeah, we'll tour. We were trying to like
Cincinnati, we're coming Tuesday. All right, cool.
Europe all the time, England all the time.
Which is rad though. No, it's pretty cool.
It
right?
was cool at first, and then it was like exhausting, and then you have to like write and record music in between, and you can't really write on the road. So like that Muslims record got us signed, but then we're like on tour all the time, and they're like, okay, write your debut record. And it's like it wasn't really our debut. It was like that self-titled one, and we'd be home for like little pockets of time, get together. Right, it was just like all of this kind of pressure and touring.
It's just not enough time. It's not enough like
it's not enough time, and it was just also just like it's like that was like the thing I dreamed about my entire life. I'm like, I want to be in a band that like tours, and like is a band and does it for a living. And then it like happened, and I was like, turns out I like fucking hate touring like with all my heart.
Shouldn't have said the dream back in
Should've said the dream,
2005.
and like I wasn't like, we were all like to hang out and party and stuff, but it was just like we were all like really exhausted.
This is a group mindset, not just one person.
Yeah, and like you're just like, you're next to the same dudes all of the time, and like I like love all those guys, and they're all, I feel fortunate that I was in a band with them. They're all like smart, good people, and were my friends prior to being in a band. But like it's just like tough. Like there's a reason that bands split up, especially if you like we were like on tour like 8 months out of the year or something. It was a lot.
You guys are young when you started, and you're
it's just kind. It was kind of intense. And then when you're doing things like, it was cool to get paid and like not work a real job, but it's like then it's like something creeps into your head where it's like, oh well, people like this. Whereas like when we were first doing it, it's like Matt and I were fucking losers who delivered pizzas, who hung out at my mom's house and recorded. And I feel like those are the best songs that we wrote and recorded.
Really?
Yeah.
Like the early.
That's
early
my.
more
Yeah, I
than
feel like
late.
those like there's stuff that I like later, but like I think that's like my favorite of
era
of that band. Like but yeah, it was just kind of like, oh, like how is this gonna be received? Will this good? There's all these thoughts when it becomes like you're living. It's a different thing, and then you're on tour all the time, and you're also young and don't know how to like communicate. I don't know, like
sure.
And
you don't want to piss off people and et cetera, et cetera.
I didn't have a problem with pissing off. Like I would just like I didn't know how to like deal. I don't know. Yeah, it's
you're young, whatever.
You're young, and
you
people
learn
who
stuff.
like
You're
join bands, especially ones that are like worth a fuck, aren't the most like well-adjusted people.
Sure.
Like you don't start a band because you're happy.
It comes from somewhere.
It comes from somewhere. We're all broken in different ways,
Yeah.
I think, or there's something fucking wrong with you.
Yeah.
And it might be you might be really like everyone has their like quirks,
Their drive too.
and then like they're put in like that kind of group thing where you're just like in a van all the time. Like it's, I don't know. So we took 2 years, I think, to put out Strapped, the last record.
Mm-hmm.
Which like in terms of like music, business stuff, I feel like any type of like hype we had or what any kind of people had already forgotten. And at that time, like bands were putting out records. Like I feel like we put out that record, no one really gave a shit. We did a couple tours. It wasn't that fun. And then like I moved to New York and Matt moved to Mexico.
Really?
Yeah, he
Wow.
still lives in Mexico. He's been there for like
Wow.
8 years. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, he just went full like off the grid style.
Wow, that's cool though.
Yeah, it's super cool. Yeah, he like
Yeah.
surfs down there all the time. Like I went down and visited him once.
Like south or
He lives like outside of Ensenada, but basically Ensenada. Like, but he
Okay.
has like a place. Like his girlfriend got a job down there. Like she does agricultural stuff, like farming for like this really nice restaurant.
Wow.
So and he was just like he was kind of sick of shit.
Olive Garden or
Do you know of oh fuck, not California Pizza Kitchen? What's the other place?
Little Caesars.
No, worse than that. Spaghetti. No, Cheesecake Factory.
Cheesecake Factory?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
They're a proud sponsor of this.
Yeah. So yeah,
a
so
promo code.
he kind of just moved promo code Cheesecake Factory. Yeah, so he just moved down there, and I moved to New York, and we kind of just didn't do it anymore. I don't
Okay,
know. It's
yeah.
kind of hard to explain. Like we're all buddies, and like there wasn't any like
Hard
huge
feeling.
blowout, but I just think it was just like everyone was just like worn out.
It's over. It was done. It ran. Its
Yeah, it
course.
kind of like lost a feeling. I don't know. There was like the same feeling I was discussing earlier, like oh my god, this is like feels really good, and like it felt like my life had like opened up. Like the opposite had happened. Like there's some sort of spirit that like that had gotten like killed.
Oh my gosh, man.
Do you know what I'm talking about? Like
No,
I don't know.
Yeah.
Because you'll put up with
I
a lot
wish
of
I didn't.
bullshit.
I wish I didn't because
Yeah.
it's sad. But
It is sad. It
Yeah.
is.
It's the end of an era.
It's like an empty feeling.
Oh man, yeah. Something's gone.
And you can't really recreate it. And like,
Nor
just,
can you pinpoint it either, which sucks. It sucks. You're like,
yeah.
what?
There wasn't
was
one
it?
huge fight. There wasn't one like horrible tour. It was just like grinded out of you over like a period of time. But yeah, so like when we get together or we were playing shows, like kind of when that last album came out, it just didn't feel like good. It was kind of just like, whereas before that was like my favorite thing in the world to do. It was kind of like, I'm gonna like play my best, but like this isn't. I can't wait to get the fuck out of here, kind of thing.
Let's wrap it up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Man. Okay, so 2012-ish was the last time.
2012, the record came out, and then we toured for 2012, 13. I don't know when we played our last show. I think it was Sunset Junction. Might have been 2013 or 14.
Where's that, Sunset Junction?
Here in LA, like kind of like Echo Park, or maybe it was called Echo Park Rising. Maybe that was it. It was something like that. I think that was like our last show. That whole festival thing? Yeah, yeah. Okay. I think we played that. That was like our last. Yeah, that was the last gig. Like I was kind of flying back for shows.
From New York, right?
From New York. Wow. And that kind of like, it's sort of like just, and then like we didn't like say anything like this is our last show, and I think we also don't really like to talk about things. So I think one day I was in New York and sent an email. I'm like, do we want to do this? Like, what's the deal? Because no one really knew between us. We just knew the feeling was bad, but we didn't really discuss anything. And then kind of on an email chain, we're like, yeah, let's shut it down.
On email, not text.
No, dude, it was
what?
No.
Are you on Instagram? Let's
totally
DM.
It's like, all right, cool. This like major part of my life is like done.
Oh wow. Okay, cool.
But yeah.
Oh man. Okay, so 2012. And then, so everybody's kind of doing their own things, kind of branching off, right?
Yeah.
Doing separate stuff. And you started U.S.
Oh, yeah. So I was like, all right, this thing's done. I'm in New York. I'm just going to start another band. Mm-hmm. Turns out that's like more. I'm like, I'll start another band and just like get on because I have the goods. Like,
sure. Yeah.
That I didn't start anything there.
Hey, McCartney, do you need a...
Yeah, no, totally. I was like, no, I'll just whip this up with someone else. And I didn't jam with anyone. Also at that time I'd quit drinking for like the first time. So I was like I was dealing weed. I sucked at dealing weed. So I was like dealing weed out of my apartment.
It's not as easy as it. What was the problem with it?
No, I'm like mad lazy. I would kind of sell weed to guys
like a weed dealer, man.
Yeah.
It's fine.
So I would just like have my brother would come over and he would like weigh out his own bags.
This is in New York?
Yeah.
Oh, you guys were both in New York?
Yeah, we were both in New York. He had moved to New York earlier.
Okay, cool. Okay.
So I was just kind of like,
so was he in
being a shitty weed dealer, but I definitely did like, I made enough because I smoked a ton of weed. So I covered.
Were you doing it inside
my
or
smoking
outside?
Cost.
The weed. Inside?
Was I growing it?
No. Smoking it inside.
Inside, and I used the fan thing because out there, like in New York, you could get like
serious trouble.
They just like roll like, and you don't. I remember like Dave and I got in trouble for smoking weed outside. It was not cool there. No. So smoke weed.
I don't even think it's cool now. I don't know.
It's kind of scary. It's like the opposite of here. Maybe it's changed.
Interesting. So this is like 2012-ish.
Yeah, 2013, 12, yeah.
12. Okay, so you're doing it inside.
Selling weed, recording music with aspirations of doing another band. But I also wasn't partying anymore, so I wasn't going to any shows. I was just kind of a hermit style, like with my girlfriend, like watching a lot of TV.
Was that the primary income was the weed?
The weed, and I started coaching kids baseball stuff.
Oh
I found this ad on Craigslist.
Dude.
So I would coach
Craigslist. Hey, come coach these kids.
Yeah. That's exactly how it happened. So I would
playing with fire.
I would coach an 11-year-old team with this guy, and then during the week there'd be younger. It was kind of like this baseball/basketball program. So sometimes it'd be basketball. Like in the wintertime it'd be basketball.
This is in the city.
Yeah, in Manhattan.
Oh wow. Okay.
And I lived in Brooklyn, so I did that. I tried working at a restaurant, but I didn't like that.
Like, if you didn't like the service, do you want some weed?
Yeah, I need customers. I thought all these people that I knew would just switch over. I underestimated people's loyalty to their weed dealer, or maybe their lack of belief in my ability. I had good weed.
Where were you getting it from though?
This kid, I'd met this kid who had grown up in the city who played in a band, and he'd been selling weed for a long time.
Or do you just want to leave it out?
He was in real estate for a little while.
Oh, okay. All right. Nobody's ever heard of that, though, ever.
No, totally.
What is real estate?
Okay. But
not a current member.
But he helped me find a guy who would sell me weed. And when I would almost have a panic every time I'd get it because I'd give the guy I don't know, was it like $12.50? It was like I'd buy like an ounce, like to have like an ounce of weed, to have all your money that you've just given to someone, and then be walking with like an ounce of weed in your backpack in that city was like fucking terrifying. Because if you get caught, it's over. Yeah, no, you can zip the bag like or airlock the bag. It's just a lot. It was a stressful walk.
I need a pull.
Because if someone busts me for anything or asks to see my backpack, I'm done.
Transit authority.
Over.
You're just standing there.
Yeah, totally. It's terrifying. I'm not built for drug dealing.
If he says, "Hey," you say, "Hey, empty out your pockets." You flip it on him and say, "What?" That's what you do.
Yeah.
Like, what's over there? And
I would have just started crying. Like a tear would have just started. Like it's over.
It's done. I should have stayed at the restaurant.
I should have never done this. But yeah, so that's kind of what I did.
Okay, weed. Yeah.
Then I moved back to California in 2015.
Okay.
And I had kept recording. And I was like, oh, I'll find someone to sing on it. But I couldn't find anyone. I wasn't really looking also. And then I was like, I just want to put something out. And like singing is like my biggest fear, like singing in Snakes. But my friend Andrew, who produced that record.
In that order?
Singing, after doing singing's worse than Snakes. I hated singing. Like, loathed it. And like, I'd played some shows after I released that record that like, I would finish playing and see people I'd know. I'd be like, hi, how are you? And you are well. Like I had like a tick. Like I wanted to like burn my clothes and like run and hide in a tree. I hated singing that much.
I'm going back to school.
I don't know. I got to do something other than this. So my friend and I made like a record in like 2017, and I was really obsessed with it.
And that was the first one, correct?
I only made one
of the
US Underground.
Yeah.
And then realized I hated it.
But then there is other stuff that you're selling, correct, on your Bandcamp, correct? Is it your stuff? Because it says like your merch, anyways. Go buy that.
Might be like the labels, the label that put it out.
Okay, maybe
Dream Recordings put it out, so I think that might be other bands that are on Dream. But like for me, no, I did that. I played some shows, hated the shows. And making the record was fun.
Yeah, are there still cassettes available?
Yeah, my mom bought one. Like literally, like 8 people bought one. Maybe. Yeah, I'm sure they're.
Well, go. Okay, it's because that's link in your Instagram, right?
Yeah.
So go check it out. Go buy it. There's still some.
Or
available.
Don't buy it. It's not that the singing is terrible. So
you gotta buy it, guys. Yeah, you have to do it.
Music is not that bad.
It's either music or
I stand
weed.
by the music, but like vocals are not there. But
of course you'd say that. But at least it's not Snakes, right?
No, that's what I'm saying. Is like I prefer Snakes at this point. After it's like, how many times do you like do something where it's like, oh man, I really fear this, and you do it, and you're like, generally, you're like, it's not so bad. With singing, it was like this was worse than the nightmare I had about singing.
Would you do backups though on the
No,
the
never.
softback?
I just my job was like pick out a cool outfit to wear, like pick out a cool shirt. And like play guitar, and that's where I'm happy. And when I was playing those solo shows,
I already know what shirt.
When I played guitar solos, which one?
I think you know too.
The one I have on.
Born in the USA.
I don't have that shirt anymore.
You gotta get another one.
I gotta get another one.
You say, "Hey mom, I'll give you this cassette tape. You gotta buy me another Bruce Springsteen shirt."
You're like, yeah, no, I gave you a deal on this cassette.
Come on.
But yeah, so like I enjoy playing guitar, and I enjoy playing bass, but singing is. It takes a special thing to want to do that, and also to be good at it. Like, not anyone. Like, I feel like I'm relatively outgoing or can talk. I don't mind being in front of people or like on stage, but that was like a whole nother deal. Singing.
So as of right now, what are you doing music still?
Yeah, so I did music for Lena Dunham's podcast called. I think it's called the C Word. Yeah, so I did music for that.
I gotta know, dude. You know me, dude. I just have to know
you're dialed in with the research.
Yeah, man. Yeah, you know me, dude.
Yeah, I know you.
I know.
I've known you for like an hour and 10 minutes.
Yeah,
you're
dude.
Pretty on it. Showed up on time,
dude. Yeah, well, I mean, I was like two minutes late. Thanks, Ralphie Garcia. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
I love you, Ralphie. I don't think he's gonna listen. That was a dude that was right down the street.
At what's the place you went to?
I don't want to say it because it is right down the street.
Got it.
It's a coffee shop, but where did you live? It doesn't even matter.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, I'll tell you after. Yeah, I don't want to blow up your spot.
Yeah,
so
no, that's cool.
But Ralphie, if you're listening, I'm not gonna tell you that you're on the. I'm not gonna tell you that we're talking about you. But if you listen, like a good friend,
you're a good guy. Yeah, so I did music for that, which was super fun. Me and my friend Andrew Miller did that, and he's also the one who produced like my solo record. We would make those tunes together. So that was great because like it was the directions were like make something kind of scary sounding, make something kind of happy, and we would just turn in a bunch of instrumental music, and I would love to do more stuff of that, but like right now they don't need tunes. So I've been kind of just like still recording all my stuff, like still recording every day. I jammed with Brian and Dave a couple times, and that was really fun. But yeah, I'd like to do another band.
Was that recent?
Yeah, like in the past like month and a half. Like,
wow, that's really recent.
Yeah. It was great.
Cool.
We hadn't played together in like 7 or 8 years. And
like
Dave has a little studio.
-ish.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dave has a little studio at his place.
I heard that you guys are. I mean, maybe it was like something like bands in town or something like that. It's that you guys are playing a show. Is that true?
No, someone hit us up about that too. I don't know. Someone screwed up on bands in town because it says we're playing like Baby's All Right in New York, but we weren't. And I was like, at first I saw it, I was like, you motherfuckers. Like, you get the band. You've ousted me from my own band?
Matt's
like,
coming from Mexico to do this?
Dude.
Ah.
But it turns out it was a mistake.
Okay, good.
Someone had made a mistake.
Some emails are getting sent.
Yeah.
Seems people getting CC'd on it.
Yeah, no, totally. But yeah, so no, like
what episode of the C Word is your stuff on, or is it
all of it?
All of it.
All of
okay,
it. Yeah.
Cool,
and it's just kind of music like in the beginning or in between segments,
intros and segues.
Yeah, stuff like that, which was super enjoyable. I really loved doing it.
Rad.
Yeah, and then since then I've just been like working on my own stuff. I don't know. I'd like to start a band or something like that where
not just solo.
No more solo stuff. I like playing with other people, and I don't like singing. So
it's always good to bounce stuff off. It's always good to jam with people, anyways. Just like, oh, that could fit there, and this is here, and I want to try this with somebody else or something else, which is always good.
No, it definitely changes. Like I like having time to work on ideas and like make demos and stuff. But like when you're in a room with someone else, like something they do, you're like, oh fuck, that was cool. Maybe this would work. You know, it starts this little kind of like spidering effect.
Which is
it's super fun.
Yeah.
And also like hanging out, like being isolated, making music by yourself. Some people really like it. It makes me fucking crazy. Like I'll wake up, have coffee, I'm like, oh man, like this sounds good. Like did it, and by the end of the day, I'm like literally laying in bed, like, so I'm gonna sell all my guitars, my amp, all this shit. Like fuck music.
Gotta get some weed.
Yeah, no, it's so bad. Like, but then I wake up the next day, I'm kind of back into it. But like I've kind of realized like I'm not I like hanging out and making music with other people.
Which is rad. Which everybody should be
it's
down
great
to do.
Yeah.
Okay, so is there anything up on the horizon that we should be looking forward to? Or
Absolutely nothing on the horizon.
I was like, that could go two ways, and it went the way that I didn't think it was going to go.
Yeah. As of yet, nothing. But, yeah, I don't know. I would like to start something else, so if anyone wants to jam, I guess I'm like open invitationing anyone who wants to come out and jam. I'm down to play guitar or bass or whatever.
And sing with a snake.
No singing. I'm fine with the snake.
Okay, cool.
Just don't want to sing.
Is there anything else? Is US Underground online?
Yeah,
correct.
It's the Instagram that I like never post on.
And there's also a Bandcamp, which is under the same. Not online though. I think it's just US Underground. Correct?
I think it might be. I think there might be a SoundCloud that's online. I haven't.
There is, but let me tell you, there's nothing on there. So don't go to the SoundCloud thing.
Oh, really? There's nothing.
No, there's nothing. There's.
Oh yeah,
blank.
so it's like it's
also YouTube. Also YouTube, right? You get your.
Is it on YouTube?
Yeah, a few stuff is on
Okay.
YouTube. I like how I know this. I'm letting you guys know. Go seriously. Go check it out though. I do. Billy Joel DUI.
Yeah,
man, I'm not nothing else besides that. Go listen to that song. That's,
yeah. Cool.
If the title doesn't intrigue you, then you don't know anything about nothing, dude. Thank you so much for doing it.
Yeah, man. Thank you. This was a lot of fun.
Is there anything else you want to say?
Nope. Don't have.
All right.
Anything
Awesome.
else,
That's it.
Cool.
Sick.